Hi, my name is Peter McTavish and welcome back to another DCG tutorial. This question is from the 2014 paper and it's a dynamic mechanism question, so question C4 from 2014 paper. So as always, read through it and see what it's giving you. So a piston, like the one shown in 3D graphic on the right, is often found in machines. Figure C4a below is a line diagram representing a representation of a piston mechanism consisting of a crank and a connecting rod with a pin joint at P. So crank OP rotates anticlockwise by O as shown for one revolution of point R. At the end of the connecting rod moves along the horizontal axis. So plot the locus for Q for this movement. So this is a linkage question, and what you need to do first and always is draw what's given. So they're giving you the measurements there for that OP line and the PQR line. So draw that in first. Now that is the line diagram done. Points O to P was 50 mil and point P to R was your 90 plus your 45, so it did an arc of 135 from P to across the axis. That gives you point R. Drawing it back and measure back 45 mil to find point Q. So read the question again. It's saying that the crank OP rotates anti-clockwise. So OP is rotating in this direction. About O as shown from one revolution, so it's going one full revolution, and point R at the end of the connection rod moves along the horizontal axis. So R moves along this horizontal axis. Okay. So first things first, if it's doing a full revolution, divide up the circle that you have there of the crank, that OP, divide up 30/60 and find 12 points. As your point P rotates around, it moves to these different positions. So label it accordingly, so point P1 and so on. Now labeling is important in these questions because you're going to have a lot of lines, a lot of points, and it needs to be labeled correctly. With these linkage questions, the main thing to remember is the constraints. Your constraint is your measurements and your rotation. So OP rotates down along here. So when P moves to P1, the distance from P to point R is still the same. It's still going to be your full 135 mil. So if I move that pin to point P1 and cut across the axis, I'll get point R1. Now the locus they want you to find is for point Q. So repeat what you did the first time. You join R back to P, you measure back 45 mil, and that is where point Q is, and it's the locus of point Q you want. So this is Q1. So keep everything nice and light and repeat the process. Go 135 mil from P2, this is R2, join that back P2, measure back 45 mil, and that's Q2. So just repeat the process, do one point at a time, label it correctly so that you know what to join to where when you're finished. Okay, so continue on with that. Okay, so once you've found all 12 points for point Q, and it is rotating in a circular pattern, so when you start at Q, you go to Q1, Q2 and so on, and all the way along, and you join back to Q. So join in freehand lightly, then go over it strong. Okay, and that is the locus of point Q found. So the constraints in that question, these are nice questions, these linkage questions, the constraints stay the same, distance stays the same. Just repeat your process all the way along and it'll give you the locus of a certain point. So I hope that helped. If it did, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to see more DCG tutorials, higher level and also order level. Okay, thank you and goodbye.